Hi guys, welcome to another Heroes of the Week. Unfortunately, it's just me today because Noop is not available. I think for him it's quite late to take part in these. He's from India, and I think it's past midnight. So he told me that he feels sleep deprived, which I understand. Also, it makes me wonder whether I should actually move the start of this show to an earlier time. I will have to think about it. How would you see it? Would that be okay with you? Let me know, please. So today it's going to be short and sweet. And if there are any people watching this live, feel free to help me, help me make this show, and leave your comments. Um, and then we can hopefully work together to create this show because obviously I'm gonna give you my team of the week, hero of the week, villain of the week, takeaway of the week, and I don't know if I can do the vocabulary of the week because normally that's something that I get from my guests' kind of speech. Not always, but also it gives me, when my guest speaks, it gives me time to think about it, to write it down. So it might be a bit hard to multitask today, but that's okay. I just want to keep going. I don't want to. I could have just taken a break, but I thought I might as well carry on. Why not pick up where we left off and do another one, even if it's just me? Even if it's just me. So if there's anyone watching, let us know in the comments and join in. You're very welcome, by the way. Okay, so where were we? I think I have got some notes somewhere. So let me dig them out and see if I can tell you my heroes, villains, teams. You know how it goes, right? All right, so we're gonna start with the team of the week. Who is my team of the week? Or what is my team of the week, I should say? What do you think? Well, today it could be many teams because there have been some really interesting results. But I'm gonna give it to Wolves, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and that's because they have got a nice string of results where they picked up points. And if you remember, the way they started the season was quite awful because they lost their first 8 Premier League games, which meant they were bottom of the table for a long time. And now, in the last 4 games, they somehow got 8 points. And in the last 2 games, 2 wins in a row, which is great. And their latest win is against Fulham this weekend. They beat them 4-1 away from home. So it seems like Wolves' form is picking up, and this takes them out of the relegation zone. They are on the same number of points as Ipswich, 9 points, but they have a better goal difference. Crystal Palace, 8 points, second from the bottom, and bottom of the league, Southampton, with 4 points. So the relegation battle is on. It's going to be quite interesting, I think, for a long time. So we will see what happens. But my team of the week, Wolverhampton Wanderers. All right. And the hero of the week, and it's going to be Patrick Schick. Yeah, I have to remind everyone that Patrick Schick did not get an international call-up for the last 2 games of the Nations League. The Czechia actually managed to qualify to League A, which is a great result. We beat Georgia at home 2-1 in the latest game, and Patrick Schick wasn't part of the team. And you know what the national team coach said? He said that Patrick Schick is dealing with some injuries. He said he has got some minor niggles that he wants to deal with. He also wants to focus on, getting that number 1 spot, or the striker number 1 sort of position at Bayer Leverkusen. However, However, he keeps scoring goals now because Victor Boniface, who was the main striker for a long time, he got injured. So now Patrick Schick got a chance and he definitely delivered. And that's why he's my hero of the week, because he scored a hat trick, in fact. Yes, there have been a lot of interesting headlines and titles, kind of like puns. One of them was Shinkansen, as in the Japanese fast train, Shinkansen, or hat Schick, hat Schick. Yeah, Patrick Schick scored a hat trick and helped his team beat Heidenheim, FC Heidenheim, even though they were trailing against them 2-0. They conceded 2 early goals, but then they turned it around also thanks to Patrick Schick. The last goal was scored by Granit Xhaka, an ex-Arsenal player. Okay, so that is my hero of the week. There's no doubt about that. There was another hat trick. Harry Kane scored a hat trick as well, but he scored 2 goals from penalties, so he can't be the one. It has to be Patrick Schick. And as you guys know, I'm also quite biased as a Czech person myself, so I'm giving it to Patrick Schick because I want him to do well, and I want him to be back in the national team because he is a good player. He just needs to be mentally in a better place, which he hasn't been lately since he lost his sort of starting 11 spot. I think now he has a chance, especially after a result like this. I think there's a good chance that he could turn it around. Let's hope so. And the villain of the week has to be Pep Guardiola, because he lost 5 games in a row. It has never happened to him in the manager career. Can you believe it? He has never lost 5 games in a row ever before with any team. Not with Barcelona, not with Bayern Munich. It happened with Manchester City, the juggernaut of the Premier League. Yes, the juggernaut. I wonder if this is the vocabulary I will be able to explain later. I just need to make a note of it. I just need to make a quick note of it. Anyway, this was a spoiler. Pep Guardiola, yeah, they lost again. They lost at home to Spurs, of all teams, 4-0. An incredible result for Tottenham, who have been lately named my worst team. What was it? I don't even know. There is no villain team of the week. But I spoke about Spurs a lot, didn't I? I may have named Ange Postecoglou the villain of the week. I can't remember, but I spoke about Spurs a lot because they lost to 2 teams that hadn't won a game yet. One of them was Ipswich. I can't remember which one was the other. But this is Spurs for you. They can get beaten by anyone. You know, the bottom, the relegation fodder. They get beaten by relegation fodder, but then they somehow deal with one of the greatest club of the recent years, Manchester City. Speaking of Manchester City and Spurs, you know, every team has a bogey team, and for Manchester City, it has always been Spurs. I think no other team has beaten Man City in the Premier League more than Spurs. Tottenham have some kind of magical power whenever they play against Manchester City. I don't know how they do it, but the league is starting to get really interesting now. I should probably show you. Basically, of course, Liverpool won again, so I think they are 8 points clear of the second place, and I think in the second place is it still City? I think it's still City. Yes, it is Manchester City. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you. If you give me a second, guys, I'll do it. Here we go. So have a look at the table. Liverpool 31 points, only 1 defeat, 1 draw, 10 wins. And then there's an 8-point gap. Manchester City with 3 defeats, 2 draws, only 7 wins. But still, this is second place. And then Chelsea in the 3rd place. Unbelievable. Arsenal in the 4th place, same number of points. Also Brighton at 22 points. 3 teams at 22 points. This is looking exciting. Tottenham back in top 6 with 19 points. Nottingham Forest 19 points. And Aston Villa, Newcastle, Fulham, Brentford, Manchester United couldn't win. I think I'm going to talk about Manchester United soon. Unbelievable. Bournemouth, 15 points. West Ham, 12 points. This is pretty bad, isn't it, for West Ham United, for the Hammers. Everton, 11 points. The same old, same old. Leicester City, 10 points. This is the newly promoted team. Wolves, I've spoken about them already. Ipswich Town, another newly promoted team. Crystal Palace, they are really in dire straits, aren't they? They're really struggling. And Southampton only with 4 points. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. So look at the form of Manchester City. The last 3 Premier League games, 3 defeats. None other team did anything remotely similar to that. I guess the closest were Leicester City. Yes, this is unbelievable, guys, right? Okay, so that was my villain of the week. Let's move on to the takeaway of the week. I forgot to mention that Pep Guardiola had signed another contract with Manchester City, which is ironic that he's doing it at the time of the worst crisis ever. But I think he has got such a strong position at Man City that it's, there is no doubt that they would always give him a new contract. He signed for 2 years. And he was on record as to saying that he would not leave if they got relegated, if Manchester got relegated because of the FFP breach, right? That they are guilty of, possibly. Guilty until, what's the phrase? Guilty until proven innocent, something like that. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Yes. So the presumption of innocence, I think it's called. Yeah. Who knows what's going on there? I don't know, but it looks like Guardiola would stay if they got relegated, which it's quite mad if you ask me. But it is what it is. Anyway, my takeaway of the week, right? What's my takeaway of the week? It's the fact that Manchester United have bigger problems than just Erik ten Hag. Yeah. So they were playing against one of those teams in the relegation zone, Ipswich. Yeah. Okay, Ipswich, they beat, for example, Tottenham, but still it's Ipswich, right? A newly promoted team. Manchester United should be dealing with this team. But yet they drew 1-1. They drew 1-1. And I also had bought 3 Manchester United players for my fantasy team. I think I'm completely insane. Why have I done that? So Manchester United, I think the problems will run much deeper than just Erik ten Hag. Yeah. And this season, I think it's they are done. It's over for them because they just keep dropping points. They're at 16. They're on 16 points, Manchester United. It's really bad. 12th position. It's unbelievably bad, right? So that's my takeaway of the week. It's probably not just about Erik ten Hag. There are bigger problems than just that. All right. So I said that Manchester City have been a juggernaut of the Premier League, right? I'm paraphrasing myself because I'm not sure if this was exactly what I said. But anyway, I'm going to show you this word on screen to help you understand. So a juggernaut is a really interesting word. A juggernaut is some sort of a large and powerful company or organization, or in this case, it's a club, yeah? It's like a powerful organization that often has a lot of money, in this case of football, like a lot of results behind it. And it's kind of a force to be reckoned with, right? So a juggernaut of football, definitely something that applies to this team called Manchester City. Okay, guys, I guess that will be it for today. I told you it would be shorter. Actually, I'm quite proud of myself that I kept it this long. I didn't expect to make it 15 minutes long. It's always easier if you have a guest, right? If you can have a dialogue with someone. Anyway, as I said, I wanted to keep going, even if I'm alone. Uh, it is what it is. If any of you are interested in featuring on this show and you have decent English, your English doesn't need to be perfect. If you have a decent English, get in touch with me. You might be one of the future guests, right? If Nurup can't make it, or if you want to join us, if you have things to say, honestly, I am open-minded enough to have you on this show. As long as you are nice and friendly and uh, I wanted to say objective, but this show hasn't always been objective. It has been about fun, banter, whatever opinions you have about football that you can justify. I guess it's fine. Doesn't need to be just the Premier League, by the way. You could talk about your domestic league. But as you know, the Premier League is my favorite. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching this week's Heroes of the Week. And I will speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. And don't forget, I've got a podcast as well. It's called the Footglish Podcast. Some of the videos are available here on this channel, on the Teachers Zdenek YouTube channel, but not all of them. Some of them are just in the audio format. And for that, you will have to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. That's it from me. I'll speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.